This is a commentary or thought process about the real estate industry nationwide. The big brands, the small brands, it's really an issue of quality. We look for differentiation from company to company, but you can see the real differentiation in productivity, not how many units that an agent does at one company versus another agent, but performance of every 100 listings the office takes. Question is, what is the standard that you set? If you're the manager, the owner of the company, or you're an agent, or a loan officer, what's the standard you set? How many listings or buyers, if you're doing loans, out of 100 do you expect to do? I've seen numbers of loan officers that are in the 4, 5, 60, 65, 70% closure rate after the buyer's given the loan application, given the money. I've seen real estate agents' whole offices perform in the 30-something% rate. Why is this happening? Why does one office do 35% of every 100 million or every 100 transactions? And another office with the same brand do 55, 65%. What's the difference? Why are agents losing listings and loan officers losing buyers, if you will, when the clients sign up to move forward? What's the difference? But it really starts with you. What are your standards? Have you set a standard? How many listings out of 10 will you sell? When Ford Motor Company looked years and years ago, back in the 80s, when they came out with the Ford Taurus, Ford was synonymous with crud. They were putting out bad machines, and Ford was really thought of very poorly. And Iacocca, part of what he did is to relook at the production of a product. Let's say it's a listing. They looked at the product called car, and they just made it better. They stopped the assembly lines and talked about what has to improve so we stop shipping it anyway. Poor quality. And as you know, the saying, quality is job one. And they meant it at Ford. Turned the company around completely. So let's think about a real estate company that has 100 million in transactions closed. But all you have to do is look in the MLS, you can see how many listings didn't close, that failed. They're all relationships that failed, that's all it is. Were they overpriced? Absolutely. But there were failed relationships. How many failed relationships in an office are okay out of 100? Now I've heard people say, as long as I get buyers off the sign, I'm okay with that. In other words, I'm okay if the seller packs, paints, shows their friends their new house, takes their kids there, looks at new schools, maybe does an inspection, does all that stuff, get their expectations high. As long as they get a buyer out of the transaction. You might have a fiduciary responsibility to the client, but the mindset is, as long as I get a buyer out of this, even though the seller packs, paints, and does all those different kinds of things. So, what is your standard? You have a standard. And I'm hoping that we are looking as a nation, especially the major brands, to say, why aren't we selling 8 out of 10? Or we're busy doing lead generation, getting more leads in. It's always more leads. But what about taking care of those people that are entrusted to us? Quality is job one. Differentiation between brands can be, you can eliminate your competitor. All you have to do is sell more of what you take. We have these different things that I'm good at, my brand is good at this, your brand is good at that. But in truth, you look at the brand's output, not volume, but percentage of times they succeed in a relationship. And of course it's pricing. But a lot of it is miscommunication, taking jobs, listings, if you will, that are never going to sell. But we have different motives. Let's just say we are really in the customer service business. And the quality is job one, and that we are going to do something about this year, right now, this month. You will speak this out in your office. If you're a leader in the office, if you're an agent in the office, how about a rally cry? Find out what your office is doing. Is it selling 57% of its units, 62, 42%? It really starts with you. Are you prepared to help change the nation of what we call realtors? And to say that job quality is really job one. Thanks for watching.